Belal Muhammad got the main event Muhammad victory. Very impressive. It's been a couple of days. I guess talk to me, man. You had a little chance to soak it in. I bet you've watched it back. I bet you've broken it down, knowing the fight analyst you are. So, how are you feeling right now about your performance in the win?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good to get that one back. It was one of those that stayed in the back of my mind and my heart for years. And my mom even texted me like, how does it feel to get the one back that broke our family down and she put me in tears. And I'm like, you don't even watch the fights, but she like just gets so upset and she'll sit there and just because she knows that I'm upset and she just cares about my health in general. But like now the fact that I knew that it affected her like that, like now that even makes me feel even worse. Because every fight she's always telling me, all right, now you're gonna go back to law school. Now you're gonna go back to law school. Are you done with this? Are you done with this? And I'm like, oh my God. But in general, man, if it just feels good. I'm blessed. It was a hard camp. It was a hard fight to train for a guy that knocked you out. And but I think that like we figured it out. We figured out the right game plan, the right way to beat him, and it was executed perfectly.
Yeah, you definitely nailed it. I guess I want to ask you. It's interesting to hear you say that because leading into the fight, you're like, we throw out the result of that first fight. It was a long time ago, different fighters, blah blah blah, and that's all the right things to say. But in the reality, in the back of your mind, it really was something you're like, I have to fix this.
Man, honestly, yeah, it was like you said. I was talking a big game, but I was like in the back of your head, especially when it gets closer to the fight. Like outside of the fight and camp and stuff like that, I'm not thinking about it at all. But then when it gets fight week and UFC's posting it, trolls on Twitter are posting the knockout saying it's going to happen again, and then you're sitting there and like in the back of your head, you're in a hotel room doing nothing. When you're in the hotel room, you're cutting weight, you're just in your thoughts, and then you start thinking like, man, is that first punch that he hits me with going to knock me out again? Is that what what if it wasn't just like a spur of the moment thing? What if he really got that natural power? He put T Woodley to sleep. He put all these guys to sleep. It's not like he's getting lucky with me. He's putting all these guys to bed. And I'm like, if I go out there and I lose this in this first round again, all these people are right. All these haters, all these doubters, everybody that said I didn't belong up there, all these people that never mentioned my name, they're all right because I just lost again, and there's no possible way that I'm going to get a title shot anytime soon. Uh, if I lose to the same guy twice, and I'm sitting there like it's all going through my head, and I'm like, bro, all right, whatever. Let's get to this first round. Let's feel one of his punches, and we'll get through it. And you feel the first punch, and you're like, all right, I'm good. I'm still standing. And then we get that first takedown. It's like, all right, now we felt him on the ground. We're not tapped out. He tapped out Kiesa, so we're good. So it's like, all right, now let's get a little bit more comfortable. Second, third, fourth round, and it's like I'm landing some clean shots on him. I'm landing some good shots on him too, and he's taking them. So I'm like, all right, we're now it's the fight. Let's get it. And it just felt good to go through that with him and get over my demons of the negative thoughts. And I feel like it's like a weight off my shoulders.
That's awesome to hear, man. All right, complete performance, as you said, man. You did it in the striking game, you did it in the ground game, you showed everything. I guess if there's a criticism or if there's anything to say, it's like, yeah, but he didn't get a finish. I mean, not that you can go out and finish when you're talking about the highest level guys or whatever. But I guess what do you think when you hear people say, yeah, but he goes to a decision too much? Like, does that bother you? Do you accept that criticism? Is it frustrating, or do you think that, hey, well, yeah, maybe I'm not getting these finishes, but you're not seeing what I'm doing out here? Like, look at what I'm doing in the way that I'm executing.
Yeah, honestly, it's frustrating for me, just because I want to finish. It's not like I'm going out there like I'd rather go 25 minutes instead of a quick 5 minutes fight. But it's like Luque hasn't been finished in how many fights in years, and when's the last time he's been finished? When's the last time Wonderboy's been finished? I'm fighting the toughest guys. It's not easy, but I'm getting close. I'm getting right there at the edge of it. I had Wonderboy on the edge. Luque, there were some points where I could have had him. Like, a lot of guys would have dropped because man, I was hitting him with some hard body kicks, and my shin is freaking swollen right now. I'm sitting there like, how the heck does this guy not have a poker? Like, no showing no emotion at all. But like I said, for me, it's just staying the course because like you've seen it happen with other guys. With Habib, you've seen Usman. These guys, they had a bunch of things. Usman was snoozman and all this thing, and now he's finishing all these guys. So it's just being patient and just believing in yourself and like keep winning, and then all of a sudden the finishes will start coming more and more, I think, and at the right time. So I think that, like I said, getting this 25 minutes out there now, my first main event, well, basically second main event, but getting that full 25 minutes, it's gonna give me a different comfort level in there the next time, where I know that, all right, I took this guy down how many times. I still, even in the 5th round, I shot on him like 3 or 4 times. He defended a couple of them, but I still had the energy to do it. So now I know how much I'll be able to push in the next fight.
You talk about having the energy to do it. Obviously, a lot was made of Ramadan and the sacrifices you had to make, but now you're still making sacrifices, right? It's supposed to be the post-fight celebration. You're supposed to be eating a cheeseburger or something, going crazy. Like, what's it like for you to like still kind of have to have this discipline and to still be going through fasting when this is the time you're supposed to just be going crazy and doing whatever you want, right?
Yeah, I said I'm like but it's a blessing in disguise too, because it's like, otherwise, I'm like, if I wasn't fasting right now, I'll be sitting here eating freaking probably a whole box of cereal, watching Better Call Saul, and then like right after the fight, you eat whatever. There's no limit on it. Like, I'll sit there and I'll eat a cheeseburger, and then two seconds later, I'll be eating a bowl of cereal just because I hadn't had it in so long, and like, my whole family would sit there and be like, "How are you still eating?" And like, it's never endless. But like, now that I have to sit there and put limits on myself, all right, well, at 7:30 now I can eat, and it's gonna make me healthier. I feel like for these next 2 weeks.
I love it. All right, let's talk about you're an analyst, you're a fan. I mean, you live this stuff. You called out Colby Covington. A lot of people have him linked to Khamzat Chimaev right now, but I'm thinking if you called him out, then you think maybe that's a real possibility. You're not going to waste an opportunity to call for a matchup. So how are you seeing the landscape right now? I mean, are you seeing that maybe that fight's not going to happen? Maybe this is an opportunity. I mean, obviously you're up there in those top names. There's not a lot of names to link to you because they got to be those very top guys. So why was that the fight that you think, okay, maybe this could happen?
Honestly, I think it's either two fights that make the most sense, either Khamzat or Colby. And I think that I called him out obviously because I really don't like him. But I don't think he's going to take a Khamzat fight. I think that Colby's going to look for, the easier matchups. And when you're looking at a guy like Khamzat, he has power, and, he has that aura about him where I think that Colby's going to be afraid to fight a guy like that. Like I said, I don't have knockout power. I suck in general. So like, he comes out there, everybody thinks he's going to 50-45 me. So come out here, 50-45 me, Colby. It's going to be an easy fight, easy matchup for you. You get another easy payday, then maybe you get a title shot again right away. But like, he's calling out Dustin Poirier. He's calling out like Nate Diaz, guys along those lines. I don't think that he wants to fight anybody in the top 5. Nobody in the top 5 is a good matchup for him. And even when you look at the guys that he's fought to get to the title fight, obviously he's been competitive with Usman, but I think he's just because of stylistically, and that's why I feel like stylistically I'll be a great matchup for Usman. And when I say who I should fight next, either him or Khamzat, because for me and Khamzat, we're the only ones that haven't fought the champ yet that are in the top 5. And for me, it's like I'd rather go to either him too, is because I don't have nobody to skip me. I don't have nobody to if I fight Colby and Khamzat fights somebody else and Khamzat finishes that person, he'll still be able to get the next title shot. But if I go straight to Khamzat, I fight Khamzat, we get a 5-rounder, I beat him. There's nobody else that could skip me. There's nobody else that's in front of me. And I'll take his O, and I'll take all of his momentum and all of his energy. Like, you see how much Gilbert's grown from that fight, how much he's blown up off of that fight, and he lost. But just because the energy and the people that the crowd that Khamzat brings, they all want to watch him. So that would be another great fight. I'll take that fight in main event, 5-rounder. Let's do that one. We tested his chin against Gilbert. Now let's test his cardio against me.
I love it. That might be the greatest call out in UFC history, by the way. Hey, Colby, I suck. I'm terrible. Like, please fight me because I suck. Like, that's amazing. But let me ask you, because this is crazy, right? I was there for the Khamzat Gilbert Burns fight. Amazing fight. Enjoyed it. But I see these people that are saying, you see, Khamzat's not who we thought he was. Like, I think that's the weirdest observation ever, right? Like, I think we saw that, no, Khamzat is who we thought he was. He got through an incredibly dangerous Gilbert Burns. So when you see it, I mean, you're saying, let me fight him. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not because you're saying that guy's not as good as we thought he was. It's you're saying, give me the toughest challenge because that gets me to the title.
Yeah, exactly. Like people put him on so much. I don't know what they thought he was. Like, he was just going to go out there and one punch everybody and knock everybody out. But yeah, I think we learned that the dude's tough as nails. He showed great striking, great cardio, great grappling in that fight, and he showed brains in that fight too because he took Gilbert down and he didn't want to play in the ground with him. So it showed me that he's not all about ego, where like, oh, I want to beat you on the ground game and things like that. So like, he showed how good he is. Gilbert Burns is a monster, and he went toe to toe with him, took some of his best punches, and gave some of his best punches. So like, I think that to me, his stock went up in that fight. Like before that fight, I was there like, you know what? Let me see how good he really is. But to me, his stock went up. And like you said, yeah, I want to fight the toughest guys. I want to fight the guys that they think I can't beat. Every single fight I'm in so far, they're telling me that I'm going to lose. So give me one more guy that you think I'm going to lose to.
I love it, man. All right, let me ask you one more thing about the welterweight division. It looks like we're going to get Leon Edwards versus Kamaru Usman. It's not official yet, but and again, I don't want to discount Leon because obviously everybody at the top of the division is a phenomenal fighter, but Kamaru is just kind of operating on this different level than people right now. Do you think Leon has what it takes to shock the world? I mean, do you see like, okay, maybe this whole landscape is going to change, or is that because to me it just looks like a really tough stylistic matchup for him?
Yeah, honestly, being in the cage with Leon, we had some grappling exchanges, and he was very weak. So to me, there was no strength at all. Obviously he's fast, he has great distance and striking, but like, he's fought like one time in 2.5 years, and it was against Nate Diaz. So you're gonna go straight from that to Kamaru Usman, who's a different stylistic beast, and having confidence his last couple fights with knockouts, and also he still has that wrestling in his back pocket. And I think that it'll just be kind of like a replay of the first fight where he'll just continually take him down and control him and things like that.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I'm happy for Leon that he's finally getting his title shot. He's put his work in, but man, Usman is a tough matchup for him. So, all right, listen, big fight. We know it's a big fight coming for you next. Whether it's Colby, whether it's Khamzat. You put July. You kind of threw that out there. I mean, is July like if it's not one of those guys? Like, would you fight down in the rankings? Would you take somebody just to stay busy because you've earned your this opportunity. You've earned this spot. Is it those two guys and nobody else, or are you just kind of open to whatever happens?
Yeah, honestly, I'd rather have those two guys. Those make the most sense out of all of them. I don't really want to fight downward. I've gone from what is it now? Luque 6, Wonderboy 7, Maya before that was 9. So yeah, I'd rather just keep moving upward in the rankings. And July, I'm saying July because I want to get to July, then I want to fight in Abu Dhabi in October. So if I could just do that or headline something in October and Abu Dhabi, that'll be amazing too. But yeah, definitely want to get on that Abu Dhabi card in October. But I was just trying to link up because I'm healthy. So I was like, you know what? I can get one more in, and then I can do that again, and I can get back to what's called in October. So yeah, whatever leads me there, I'm good.
I love it. So maybe July, October in Abu Dhabi, December for the title.
Now we're talking. See.
We got it laid out for you, man. Awesome. Well, listen, man, go enjoy the rest of your fasting time. Go enjoy the rest of your time off until it's time to get back to camp. And any other last messages out there? I mean, I know you're going to be on social media. Everybody's going to find you on Twitter. But any message for the Bully B fans?
Thank you to all my supporters out there. I know I got a lot of hitters out there, but there's way more supporters, and I love all the support. And shout out to my boys next week fighting Jared Gordon and Jared Mershart. I'm probably gonna be in Vegas next week to watch those two fights. So let's keep this momentum going.
I love it. We'll see you at the Apex. Thanks, Belal. Appreciate it, man.
All right, brother.